Pat. We appreciate your time. What type of cricket watcher are you, Patrick?
Yeah, Howie. I'd say pretty relaxed, but I've actually been a little bit up and about today. There's a bit going on, so yeah, I can't feel like I can walk away from the ground for 5 minutes.
No.
It seems like a wicket or a few runs, so yeah, it's a bit more tense today than it was yesterday.
We appreciate you joining us in commentary. So Weatherall to face Atkinson. 3 slips of gully and a point away. And he leaves it alone outside off stump. You've just been down with the players. The decision to open with Travis Head. I don't know how close. I'm sure you've been very close to these decisions. What was the thought process behind it?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Uzi's not moving too well. His back flared up again, just in the slips, going for a jump above his head. So he's unable to open. So yeah, kind of working out whether we shuffle everyone up like the first innings, or Trav ran off and he was pretty keen to give it a crack, and he's obviously done it quite a bit in white ball cricket. So yeah, switch those roles.
Weatherald leaves alone outside as it seems back. Seems like a positive move, getting Travis there at the top.
Yeah, I mean, runs are a premium. It's 200 to get. You know, it's been pretty tough to survive the new ball. So try and throw a few shots back. You know, keep the scoreboard ticking over. Things tend to get a little bit easier that way, and that's one of Heady's strengths. And yeah, hopefully, you know, Uzi can still fill in a role in the middle order at some point. So switch those two around.
We'll get it out of the way. How's your back, mate?
It's feeling good.
Is it?
Thank you. Yeah, had a couple of good sessions over here in Perth this week. So we're kind of having a big day. We're bowling 9 or 10 overs, and then having a couple of quieter days, and then going again. So yeah, all on track, pulling up really well, recovering well. So
on track for what?
You know, half a chance for next game. Yeah, have a couple more bowls. I think we've got potentially up to 2 weeks between these two games, the way this one's going. Yeah, so I'll have a bowl every few days, and then hopefully it all goes well, and you know, we'll kind of map out what the Gabba looks like. So yeah, pretty hopeful. Probably better than I thought a few weeks ago. Yeah, being able to bowl a lot and pulling out well, and yeah, once you get to the first game, it all feels a bit real, and you want to get out there. So yeah, again.
And does that decision ultimately rest with you, Pat?
It'll be a collaboration between, you know, myself and the selectors and the physios and doctors. Yeah, so you know, there's a few things at play. Obviously, you're not coming off a lot of cricket, so you want to get a bit of a feel. You know, maybe have a look at the wicket, see how you think the game's going to pan out, and we'll have a decision. But yeah, you know, if I don't want to play, then no one would ever put me in that position.
Well, all the batters were very positive about the way you were bowling to them in the nets.
Yeah, I mean, I normally playing quite often, so you're normally sore and got a couple of creaks, but I'm fresh, so I'm feeling good, better than I normally do.
But I guess most walk away from yesterday thinking England are on top. What's the discussion in the rooms immediately as he come off the ground? Like, how quickly do you turn your attention?
Yeah, I mean, Starkey's first innings five, it felt like about it 2 weeks ago by the end of the day's play. Look, you know, the margins are still small.
Archer to head, jams down on it.
You know, if you're 350 playing 400, 50 doesn't seem that big of a gap, but when it's 120, 170 does. So just reminding that, you know, first innings doesn't necessarily, you know, mean that's how the trend of the rest of the game's going to go. So just trying to, you know, calm that down, get back to work. We, you know, got some good info as well. A lot of the guys get into the series. So, you know, I think you should feel more positive about the second innings, and a lot worked for our bowlers in the first innings that you can kind of talk about, you know, going into today. So no, everyone was quite calm, you know, been through it before, notably at this ground last year. So it's, yeah, not too foreign. Good view up here, Howie.
It is. What do you think of it, Patrick? You know, let's commentate the game. What are you thinking what you're seeing early? And Jake Weatherall still searching for that first test run?
Yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty good. He's left well against Atkinson that first over. He's looked great in the nets this week, obviously coming off a amount of shield runs the last couple of years, so he's relatively settled. One snuck through in the first innings, which can happen, but he's been, you know, pretty calm and good energy around the squad. So
another positive leave from Jake Weatherall.
And yeah, I think that's one of the good things about someone like Jake. He's 31, I think he is, coming into the test match. Feels like he's got plenty of runs and flying miles behind him, and He can just go out and play and doesn't have to try anything new.
Well, this is a Foxray, Pat, at the end of the over. All sorts of technology up here. I'm sure you've seen this down in the change rooms, but you can tell us about what you're seeing here with Jofra Archer and the way he approaches, the run-up speed, and then the snap of that wrist.
Yeah, I mean, Jofra does it a little bit differently to a lot of other bowlers in his run-up speed. 23 is still quick enough. I actually think that's probably a couple of Ks quicker than he was a few years ago, but it generates a lot of arm speed. You know, wrist snap, you can see his elbow. There's a bit more flexibility in it than mine. I wish I had a bit more. But it's one of those guys that always looks quite effortless how quickly he can lob it down there. And it's also tall. He's sneaky tall. It's a high release.
The performance of Mitchell Starc. There was so much discussion about the fact that you weren't playing and Josh Hazlewood wasn't playing. I don't know whether around the rooms Mitchell's like, right, it's my chance to really do something for my country here. But he was incredible from, well, first over, as he typically does, gets a wicket.
He was on straight away. He's looked fit. He's had really good preparation. Played a Shield game. Bruce was happy with the overs he got.
Head. That's that one that angles into Travis Head. Can cause some problems.
And yeah, 2 days out, I remember after training, he said, I wish it was starting today because I'm ready to go. But he was really impressive. Led from the front. Also with I think it was 30 odd overs in that first innings, he bowled almost half of them, so it was good fitness as well. Not the 50 overs in Test match, but he was almost bowling every time we were out there, so he was awesome.
That he was. A tense afternoon coming. You've played in front of them in England, Pat. Now, a big English contingent here in Australia.
Yeah, most of the time they're great. The third session of the day, that's the one you got to watch out for.
You don't want to go down on the fence at that point.
Baking in the sun. That's when they start to find their voice. So they're awesome. Just the sheer volume of English fans that are flown out. It's so great.
And they're seeing a fantastic Test match. Atkinson again to Head. A tense start. Again, he just pokes it away on the offside. Work from Head. Nicely timed away. Vacant spaces on the onside to slow outfield, but Head gets it to the rope. Positive end to the over. Australia 7 without loss.
I think Trav will be very happy that trickled into the rope and didn't shore a metre. Stop a metre or two short.
It's been a slow outfield here, Pat. We've had a lot of rain in the west, Mike Hussey was telling me.
Yeah, beautiful shot. It's a little bit softer out there. Obviously, the short, straight boundaries, you've seen a lot of balls fly through third man and fine leg.
You're calmer than I thought you'd be, Patrick. I thought you'd be on edge up here, to be honest, watching.
I'm trying to keep it together.
You're doing a good job. You're coming across as very calm, very confident.
Steve's team this week.
Right.
No responsibility.
Okay. Works it off the hip. There is a first Test run for Jake Weatherall. The crowd acknowledge it. He'll get at least 2. Of course, Travis Head back for 3. So he's underway in the Test runs department.
He's away.
Little fish pump as well. A bit like Virat Kohli in Sydney when he got that run.
Oh, he's been great around the grip this week, Jakey. I said he's been quite settled, but I think the first runs always settles you down. But he's good fun. He's been having a laugh this week, as you can say, fist pump. He's played quite a lot of cricket with Trav in South Australia as well, so they get on very well. Played a bit of Big Bash, probably opened the batting together, I'd imagine, over the years.
It's been such a settled team for so long. What role do you play to welcome, this week it's been Brendan and Jake, into the team to make them feel welcome and comfortable so they can perform at their best?
It's pretty rare you get someone like Jake who hasn't actually been part of an Australian setup recently. Brendan's been in around the Test squad the last couple of years. Occasionally, Coach Andrew McDonald and I will actually just grab them for a coffee and just explain how things work. It's a big moment for them, but also the family. So try and be there if you need any questions or you have any help, but just try and let them.
Thick outside edge. Now it's the first boundary for Weatherall. Archer, a wry grin. It's a positive start though from Australia.
And just let them settle in. You know, a big thing that we're always about, and Davey actually spoke to it in his Baggy Green presentation, was, you know, don't bring anything else other than yourself. You know, we want you. That's who was selected. You don't need to do anything different. So our environment's big on, you know, encouraging that individuality. And I know the batting coach, you know, Michael Divner, he won't reinvent the wheel. He'll speak to maybe the state coach, Jake, what do you need from us? And it's just about facilitating what the player needs.
Little noise on the way through. Weatherall stands and looks. Archer's up. And he's reviewed it immediately as Weatherall. It was a definite noise, but immediately Weatherall reviewed.
Yeah, clear gap as the ball passes the back. Satisfied. I'm going to check that whether there's an LBW. Can I have the ball copy, please? Impact outside. Nathan, you need to change your decision from your sprint signal now.
I'll tell you what, Patrick, if you retire from cricket and don't go into commentary, you might be an umpire, because that's a good early positive call from you. I don't know if it was made with one eye open, but it was spot on.
Yeah, I mean, it does help when you've got about 6 TVs in front of you here.
Don't give away all our secrets, Pat.
Yeah, you look pretty confident, Jakey. Certain players you don't believe, but I feel like the guy on debut you believe.
Do you know much about the man you'll be captaining against at some stage during the series? Have you played with him around the traps? Have you had much to do with him? He seems to be this talismanic figure for England.
Obviously played quite a bit against him in all formats. Haven't had a lot to do with Stokes. Haven't played with him in franchise cricket or anything like that. But yeah, he always seems to find a way to get involved, like most all-rounders, really good all-rounders do. You know, in that first innings, I know there was a bit of a...
Weatherall. That's a nice positive stroke. He's starting to get into his work. Is Jake. Times it sweetly. Work to be done. The chase.
There's a bit of chatter about you know, the big quicks that they've picked, the 4 big quicks, but he came in and snuck in with the fifer, which yeah, he seemed to do that a few times against us. He stays involved in the game, so yeah, he looks in pretty good form.
He looks incredibly fit, is what he does look, Ben Stokes. Positive start from Weatherall. How have you mentally dealt with the fact that it's been the biggest series build up for so long and you're not actually able to play, and you're sitting here talking to me about it? How's that been?
I've probably known for a while, and it's ebbed and flowed. There was probably times where I thought I was not going to play a game. So in some ways, being in this position, I actually feel potentially better than I did, you know, a couple of months ago. But it's been tough.
What's been the hardest part of it?
I think most series you're trying to map out your perfect prep. Here it's, oh, I know I'm not going to play the first game, and I'm probably not going to play a Shield game, and how do we, you know, try and work that out? Actually, no, I'd say this is the hardest, is just not being out there in the middle. You just want to be in amongst it, you know. The whole cricketing world's watching, and you just wish you're out there.
Final ball of the over. Up to 6, none for 23. So they've done a 6-over stint. If you get through to 7, you can put an invoice in. So you're going to stay for one more over?
I'll stay for 14.
I tell you, while there's no wickets being lost, I think there's quite a few people that prefer you didn't move at all. People do that in the rooms. Is there someone in the rooms that won't move in position when things are going well?
Yeah, big partnerships.
Right.
The next batter in sometimes, yeah, won't move, but particularly I reckon tight, like end of a one-day or a T20, or if you've got a few runs to chase, no one's moving, no one's breathing. It's quite often a lot calmer out in the field with the 2 batters or the fielders than whatever's happening back in the box or the dugout.
Just a physical update on a couple of your teammates. You talked about Usman's back. You would expect him to bat if required?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't check on the exact timings, but I dare say we need to wait half an hour, 45 minutes or so. I think I'd imagine Marnus and Smithy would probably stay 3 and 4 at this stage, and we'll work out what happens with us after that.
Archer again to Travis Head. Jams down on it, times it nicely. The captain chases after it. They come back for 2. And Nathan Lyon, you don't see another sport where professional athletes are against almost non-professional athletes, in that world-class bowlers are bowling to blokes that don't have the skills as batsmen. We've seen Nathan time and time again. He looked like he copped a nasty blow. Would he be able to bowl if required today?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You know, he got an external blow. He had pretty impressive.
Did he?
Big
Impressive
cherry.
one.
Oh,
I'm not sure
he
that's
showed
right.
everyone.
Well, did
Don't
he?
worry. Yeah, he's and it was rock hard as well. He's making sure everyone touched it.
He was happy with his bruising, was he?
Very happy with his bruising. So he was pretty sore, but he was able to come and have a bowl. So I think he actually went on for the last over. Or was about to go back on and bowl if required. And just heard it was his 48 minutes. So yeah, again, I don't think we'll see him till after Marn and Smithy, but I obviously haven't been down there for a little while.
Just one final question before we let you go. We saw that 50-run partnership late between Atkinson and Carse. When do you go short, and when is enough short enough?
It's always a good question. It's hard, you know, particularly in a scenario like here where the ball might be seaming. You haven't had a look at Lino. You know, 7 of the 8 batters it worked really well. We probably got 7 for 10, 15 runs.
Yep.
But then Atkinson, you know, played it really well. So, you know, you're always adjusting. I think that's one of the beauties of a 5-test match series. You're always tweaking your game plans. So yeah, we'll have a look at that after the match. Again, it can move the game quite quickly. So even if it's a 2-over plan, you can either get a couple of wickets, 3 wickets like we did yesterday, or it can go, you know, for a 15 or 20 run over. So it's balancing that up. It's one of the tougher decisions because you've got so many options.
Have you noticed it's a very easy game from up here, Patrick?
Yeah, I could sit up here quite comfortably.
We couldn't afford you, but we appreciate it. We'll let you go at the end of the over, and we hope to see you at the Gabba, Patrick. But good luck in this test match, and hopefully we see you bowling in Brisbane.
Thank you.